So, hey, this is Connor Moore. Connor Moore, what brought you here today?
Arwen? No.
Arwen made Connor be here. Let's get a hand for Arwen. And Connor. Oh, and I got the last name wrong. I'm sorry, what's your last name? Monroe. Yeah, it's just a horrible MC. I don't know who even put me behind this mic today. And we have Terry J, Rutland's most famous voice.
I've never had dessert before, so there's a lot of pressure on me.
A lot of pressure. Don't crack under pressure. Stay cool. Stay cool. We're getting waters. And we have Sammy Tift. Sammy looks like the only culinary trained person on this judging panel. Am I right?
I'm not qualified.
Connor is not qualified. Sammy is qualified. Welcome, Sammy.
Hi, I'm a second year at Stafford Culinary Center, and I don't know.
That's cool. Stafford is cool. Yeah, second years. That's better than first years. Always. Always. And we have Karen Worcester. Hey, Karen, this is your first time judging this event?
It is, and I'm here to eat the whoopie pies.
Here to eat the whoopie pies and hopefully be a critical judge. Are you like an easy judge, or are you like that dude Simon on American Idol? You're gonna throw around a lot of zeros. Can you put 0 on this judging sheet, or just 1? One. Okay, and we have Leona.
Hi, how are ya?
Hey, how are you? And with that, let's get started. We have 10 whoopie pies, and we're gonna go through them. Whoopie pie number 1. This whoopie pie is called Elvis Presley. Oh. Initial reactions, what do we have? It's a lot of filling, Connor says. Is that a good thing?
Not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing. So,
DEFCON 1, let's go!
DEFCON 1. So, these whoopies, there's no real, I did like about a half an hour of research on Wikipedia and YouTube before I came in, because I realized I know nothing about whoopie pies. And so I figured like I better brush up a little bit and know exactly what a whoopie pie is. But there's no hard definition really about what makes a whoopie. But they do have some classic characteristics. You are looking at a cakey dough, and in between that cakey dough is a filling. On this particular whoopie pie, there is a lot of filling. Some of these judges are just going in with their hands. Others are more civilized and actually using utensils. Not Connor. Connor's got some fans. Damn. What makes an Elvis Presley an Elvis Presley? I heard Terry J say it.
Tasting a little banana in there.
Tasting a little banana. Because Elvis liked banana? Was that the whole thing? He liked peanut butter and banana. Peanut butter, bananas, and bacon. That's what makes an Elvis. Yeah. So they're going through these scorecards. And on these scorecards, they're grading on appearance. Whether it's intact, not crumbly, falling apart, or messy. Is it embellished or decorated? Do the ratios of cookie to cream look pleasing, or is it pretty? Karen, what do we think? Is this a pretty pie? Yeah. Karen says yeah. Is there peanut butter in this? Connor doesn't taste it. There may be peanut butter in it. Is there bacon in it? Definitely not. They're also judging on taste, they're judging on texture, and they're judging on creativity. On the questions of taste, it says, does it taste like a whoopie pie should? That seems awfully subjective, right? I think you got a little whoopee on your face, Connor. Yeah, it's good. it's a judging technique, I'm sure. Cool. Are we ready to try pie number 2? Connor's still working. Maybe if we go from Leona down, we're ready for pie number 2. Initial reactions, Arwen, is the competition steeper this year than last year? Yes. We're seeing an elevated panel of contestants. This pie number 2 is also called an Elvis. What a coincidence. We see bacon. I assume that might be a banana filling. Is it a banana filling? Who's tried it yet? That's banana. We confirmed banana. And there's bacon, maybe peanut butter? Maybe not. Right at the end, there's peanut butter. Not at the beginning, but at the end. Hey, Mr. Strecker. What do we think? Sammy, what are your initial impressions of the second Elvis?
It's a little melty, but I like it.
A little melty, but I like it. I like that too. And keep in mind, it's probably our fault because we cut them and we left them out in the sun for a half an hour. There's some structural limitations to this contest. Did you have something to say to the crowd, Connor?
I'm messy and pleased.
Connor is messy and pleased with pie number 2. Do we like the bacon bits on the side of the frosting? We love the bacon bits. It's good bacon, Jerry J says. I've never heard of bad bacon before. Yeah, only good bacon. So like all bacon is inherently good as it comes into this world. How are we? Ready on pie number 3 coming in at you. What if, surprise, all of these pies were Elvis Presley pies? Would you be disappointed or would you be excited? Yes and no. Well, some of you might be pleased to know that the next pie is not another Elvis Presley pie. I'm told it may have elderberries in it. Elderberries. That's like a berry that is like kind of an old grandpa berry, and it smells a little funny, but it's packed full of antioxidants, is what I think they're called. What grandpa's packed full of antioxidants. And they're very good. They're very good. It's supposedly very good for the immune system. Initial impressions? What do we think, Leona?
Cookie's good.
The cookie is good. The cookie is good.
Why is it a cookie?
Why is it a cookie?
It should be cake.
It should be cake. This goes back to our question on taste. Does it taste like a whoopie pie should? There's actually, if you look on these grading sheets, there's actually no numbers. There's just like little pie emojis, and they're just circling different pie emojis. It's like they're beyond math. Sammy is writing down qualitative notes. Once again, I would like to emphasize to this crowd that Sammy Tift is a trained culinary artist and the only person probably qualified on this stage to be here. Definitely not me. There is no reason I should be on this stage right now. They asked like 3 other people, and then they asked me. Okay, are we ready for pie number 4? Sure. This pie, when we were cutting them, looks like red velvet. Yeah. Looks like awesome. That's got to be a high appearance score, right, Connor? If it looks like awesome, does that mean it tastes like awesome? Is everything that looks awesome also taste awesome? Is that a true thing? Bob Baird is nodding his head. This woman is shaking her head. You two have a conversation to settle. I'd like to point out there are also a lot of hornets on this stage right now. Because where there's pie, there are bees. Personally, I'm a fan of red velvet. I like red velvet cupcakes. How close to a red velvet cupcake is this? You want to say that to the crowd?
It tastes like a red velvet cupcake, but there's something not right about the texture.
Something perhaps a little off with the texture, but it tastes like red velvet. Yeah, so I spent about 10 minutes of that time I spent on the internet before coming down. I was looking at whoopie pie recipes, and then I went on YouTube, and I basically watched about 7 minutes of UFO, UAP videos. There was, in Mexico, I guess, there was like a guy who brought an alien in front of the Mexican Congress this past week. And so I watched that video, and then I watched a video that basically said you can use leftover scrap cake batter to make whoopie pies, and that's part of the origin of whoopie pies. Did you know about this, Arwen? Oh no, not about the aliens, about the origin of whoopie pies. So it's contested where whoopie pies actually came from. We do believe they are from this world. Are we ready for pie number 5? We're ready for pie number 5. Pie number 5 may have raspberry in it. Another red fruit. So I was on YouTube looking at all these whoopie pie recipes, and they supposedly, so Pennsylvania claims to be the origin of whoopie pies, but also Maine, but also Virginia. Also, like, a lot of people are fighting for the origin story of whoopie pies. Supposedly in the Amish community, wives would take leftover cake batter, and then the next morning they'd put them on a cookie tin, and they'd make little cookies with them, and then they'd fill these cookies with like frosting, and they'd stick it in the farmer's lunchbox. This is what, I'm just verbatim what the YouTube video said. And when the farmer opened up the lunchbox and saw these little cakes, they would shout, "Whoopee!" And that is the origin of the whoopie pie. Do we believe that? Heather, what do you think? Heather said, I believe it, but she said it in a way that made it look like she didn't believe what I'm saying is true. Which, kudos to Heather, half of what I say is a lie. It's a pathological thing, I'm not to be blamed for it. What do we think about this one, Leona?
Cookie is more crumbly than the rest. Maybe not quite as moist.
You're saying that like a crumbly cookie isn't a good characteristic. She is not saying that. I am putting words in her mouth. I've never met a bad cookie or cake. That's a Terry J quote right there. They should put that on the WJJR ad platform. Are we ready for our next pie? I think we are. Pie number 6 coming in. Are we feeling full yet? Yes. This next pie, I am told, is a play off of an Oreo, perhaps? Regionally, in some areas, they call whoopie pies BFOs, big fat Oreos, I guess, as well. There's a number of names for whoopie pies. Some people call them gobs. Some people call them bobs. And some people call them whoopie pies. There's also a common confusion between whoopie pies and moon pies, which I learned about. A moon pie technically has a little bit of graham cracker in it. Whoopie pies don't need to have graham cracker in it, but they could have graham cracker in it. It's one of those square rectangle situations, except you're dealing with baked goods. This one, I would say the presentation on this one is nice. If I was a judge, I would score it high in presentation. Don't let me bias you, but there's little brownie sprinkles on top, it looks like. Does it taste like an Oreo? Is that what we think it is? I also, and I say this because I didn't want to bias your initial impression of the taste, but this is a vegan whoopie pie. Yeah, it's a vegan whoopie pie, which probably will be nice after all that bacon y'all just consumed. And it probably deserves some creativity, right? Because whoopie pies traditionally either use a buttercream filling or they use a marshmallow fluff filling. Some people, I think, like literally just go to the store and they get that container of fluff. I was not allowed to have fluff as a kid. It was kind of a thing that I really wanted fluff. My mom's in the crowd over here. Mom, why wouldn't you buy us fluff as when we were small little children? We didn't get that. It was kind of like a Fig Newton household. You know what I mean? That's why I am the way that I am. And now I just consume all the sweets that I can. It kind of backfired. Are we ready for our next pie? Oh, I like this. I like this. This one I might try. Is there an extra slice in this one? Oh, before you even try yours? This one I'm told is a pumpkin spice and maple cream cheese. Yeah, that's really good. This one's good. The highest possible point that these pies can get is a 20 or 20 little emojis. This one's like a solid 19 for me at least. The pumpkin works really well, and the pumpkin pairs well with the cream cheese. It's just a classic combination. Connor has something he would like to say to the crowd.
I can taste all the flavors that I'm supposed to taste. And I like that.
That sounds like a dream. Taste all the flavors that I'm supposed to taste. Any comment on that, Karen? Are you tasting all the flavors that you were supposed to taste?
This is very good.
Very good. A clear top contender. Are we ready for our next pie? Are we still deliberating? That's okay. You should take all the time that you want. Some of us believe time is just an invention, and that we're just living in a loop, a series of compacted nows. Those are also the people who believe the earth is flat, Connor just told me. We're really going into like a kind of a lot of conspiracy theories here. If anybody else is into like internet conspiracy theories, now's your chance to just share your passions with the crowd. This next pie, hard to go wrong with, is a classic. I believe you're on 8. This is a classic whoopie pie. I heard Terry J just whisper to Sammy, I may have to eat this whole thing. 30 seconds ago, he said he was full.
You weren't supposed to hear that.
What do we think? After a boldly flavored pumpkin spice, is this refreshingly classic? Leona, what do you think? Oh, you're scoring high. I can see your scores. Go away. Leona's scoring high on this classic whoopie pie. Now, there could be another bias here. This contestant only brought us one whoopie pie. The other contestants brought us 3 whoopie pies. For those submissions, we cut all the pies right down the middle, right in half. They look like little half moons. This one, we cut in wedges. So there's corners. Whether this affects their judging, we'll never know. That's one of those things where we'll never know. Just like some of us will never know whether the earth is flat or round.
We went to space. We went to space.
Connor said we went to space. That's also debated in some circles online. Okay, I think we're ready for our next pie. Our next pie is flavored with another classic fall flavor, and that flavor is apple cider. Connor's saying good presentation. There is a sugar sprinkle on top of the apple cider whoopie. How is the frosting? Does the frosting taste sufficiently appley? You're tasting your hair? And you're... Hey, Steve. Yeah, Steve, we can get, there's another chair somewhere we can get for you if you want to get on stage. Connor says you come here. Yes, I am here, Connor. You have something to say to the crowd again.
The, cake part, it has, the same texture as the elderberry one.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Absolutely not.
Oh, harsh. Harsh, yeah. I like people who have strong opinions and principles and values with a little bit of kindness in there as well, because we enjoy these pies. The flavor is really good. I'm still eating the pumpkin one. Are we ready for another pie? Are we on the last one already? We're having so much fun. I think there's 2 more. There's 2 more. This next pie is a standard buttercream. Standard buttercream. Some of these contestants, I've been told, have been working on their recipes for months. Focus groups, feeding them to family members, storing them in freezers, pulling them out, retesting them, tweaking the flour, tweaking the cream. Lots of cream on this one, Terry? Classic. Yeah. I feel like a whoopie pie that's like a day old. This is a controversial opinion. I know I've shared a lot of my controversial opinions with everyone. It's almost like a therapy session. But I like a whoopie pie that is like 1 to 2 days old, that's in saran wrap, that you'd find in the gas station, and then it's like the cream has almost like seeped into the cake a little bit. That's the way. I like that, like the Mandalorian. That is the way. A 2-day-old gas station whoopie
Hey,
pie.
that's how I like my sushi.
That's how Terry J likes his sushi. In case anybody's gonna try to eat out tonight. Okay, what do we think on this one? Sammy, what are you writing on your notes? Can I share them with the group? No, those are secret notes for Arwen only. Karen, what do we think about this? It's good. Tastes like a whoopie pie, which is one of the criteria under taste. Tastes like a whoopie pie should. Are we ready for our next whoopie pie? I think we lied earlier when we said there was 2F, because I still think there's 2F, unless we're stuck in one of those time loops. We have 2 more whoopie pies left to taste. This next one, unfortunately, we cut it in half. You should have graded it before we cut it in half, because there was some nice frosting work on top. This is a Vermont maple whoopie pie. Those are good. I believe it. I'm a big fan of Vermont maple syrup. Vermont makes the best maple syrup around. Who wouldn't be a big fan? The frosting, you mean the little maple leaf garnish here? You ruined it because you ate it. Is the maple flavor coming through? Can you tell that it's Vermont maple syrup, Karen? It's so hard after eating so much. Thank you for your honesty. One person on this stage is being honest. Actually, there's a couple people being very honest and fiercely vulnerable with this crowd today. I am not one of them. Terry's abandoned his fork and is going for the fingers again. I feel like whoopie pies are kind of a thing that you eat with your hand, right? Yeah. Like, who eats a whoopie pie with a fork and a knife? Half these judges then are not normal, because half these judges are trying to be civilized and cut the slices with a fork. Okay, are we ready for the last whoopie pie before we do the big weighing of the big whoopie pie? Okay, here's another whoopie pie. I wasn't told much information about this one. It kind of looks like a classic, but it's not chocolate. It looks like a yellow cake. The texture is perfect. The texture is perfect. What do we think about the filling? Leona has been very meticulous. Have you been watching how Leona's eating? Because I have. Don't be subconscious about it. I mean, you're standing on a stage. There's like 200 people here. You are separating the filling and judging it separately from the crust in some of these situations. I like that. I like the methodology. What do you think about that filling? It's good. Not too sweet, like that perfect Goldilocks zone of sweetness. I lied when I said I didn't have much information about this, but I did want you to try it beforehand. This pie is gluten-free. Yeah, it's a gluten-free pie. And the texture is perfect. I feel like that deserves some creativity points, probably. Home run. Has anybody else written notes like Sammy? Connor's wrote some notes. In school, nobody ever taught me to take notes. So I know that's not surprising for some of you in the audience. I just kind of drew pictures. Yeah, probably just didn't listen. Okay, I mean, last words on this experience you just put yourself through. Terry J., how do you feel after all of this?
It'll be a while before I have a whoopie pie again.
It'll be a while before you have a whoopie. I'm gonna have a whoopie pie maybe in 10 minutes. So once they crack open a big one. What do the winners get here? Olivia, what do the winners get today?
Well, we have 2 awards. One is for most creative, and the other one is for overall best. But throughout the day, everyone who has been tasting the whoopie pies from all of the vendors, they were able to vote on People's Choice, so we'll give an award away for that as well.
Woo! That sounds exciting. People's Choice, creativity, and overall. Well, thank you, judges. You can stand up now and take a bow for all your hard efforts. Give them a round of applause. In many ways, this is a thankless job. Yeah, look at that. Oh, look at the Connor's doing air guitar over there. Thank you, judges. And thank you again for Cedar, Come Alive Outside, and everybody, all the vendors and tablers today. What a showing for Rutland, for the state of Vermont, and like we said before, the international community. And when we are ready, very soon, there will be the weighing of the Dream Maker's pie. Megan and her team over there are amazing. If you haven't been to the bakery yet, right over the hill in Killington, Vermont, I highly recommend it. They really do make dreams come true. If you're like me and you just stay up at night dreaming of very, very, very large baked good items, my dreams have come true today. My dreams have come true. So stay tuned for that. We will be weighing soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, give a nice round of applause to Bryce, who is wailing around here. Go, Bryce. Love you, man. You're about to weigh this thing. That means step back. It is with loving care that Dream Maker Bakers has spent hours planning what's about to happen. You will recall, if you were here last year, we said, no, it couldn't weigh that much. It was in kilograms and not in pounds. Dream Maker Bakers team has been working on this process for months. to subtract. It's coming in at 845 pounds minus 75.